You're about to hear a short excerpt from a podcast discussion I had with Eriona Bajrakurtaj. If you like what you hear and you want to listen to more, go to humanisethenumbers.online or go to your favourite podcast platform.
In the process of changing the practice, what I did is I split the practice into 3 departments. So based on industry of our clients. So there are 3 departments, a team for each one, and each team has built up kind of a specialism. They know all the ins and outs of a particular client in that industry. Whereas before, the way that we were structured, any staff member would take on any piece of work. And when you think about that, before you start a piece of work, you have to think, okay, what industry is this? Let me just shift from what I was doing a second ago, because that could have been construction, for example. Now I'm working on a restaurant. They work in a completely different way. What were the rules again? What am I allowed for this one? What am I not allowed? How does it work? So all of these things have been eliminated. And for the team as well, they like the fact that they're getting more into the detail of each industry and becoming more specialized, and they know exactly what they're talking about for that particular industry. But that doesn't mean that they don't get exposure to other departments, because I didn't want to limit them. But there are instances where one department, someone could be on holiday, someone else could be sick, and they're down 2-3 team members, for example, and we would pull help from other departments to assist. So they still get that exposure to other kind of businesses as well. But I think this also helped to identify to help ensure that we work in a more efficient way. But actually for us it was a main exercise, because one of the departments we found, we were working lots and the money wasn't there. So when we did this exercise, we found one of the departments was loss making by £10,000 a month for us. So for us it was a decision of, if we get rid of all of those clients in that department, we're still better off by £10,000 a month, or we increase their fees. Whoever stays, and whoever goes at the end of the day. For us, we'll still be in a better position. Now, in that team, there were about 200 companies. I think 5 left. All of the others, we tripled their fees and they stayed. And do you know what their response was, the clients? They said, well, it's not I don't set your fees. You told me to pay that much. I'm not going to say, no, I want to pay you more. So that has kind of helped structure us in many things. One, for fees, working more efficiently, the team becoming more specialized, and kind of learning more about different industries, and I guess it's helping us to be able to manage that workload, as you mentioned, with 1,600 clients.